In this video, we're going to dive into 3 classic episodes featuring the devious and eccentric billionaire, Mr. Montgomery Burns, Homer the Smithers. In this episode, Mr. Burns hosts an employee appreciation night at the drag racing track. He complains about his foam novelty finger and he's left alone in his limo, where he's approached by a drunken Lenny, which frightens Mr. Burns. The next day, Burns complains he can't complete the junior jumble because his pen doesn't work on laminated paper. Smithers has a breakdown and attempts to drown himself in an office water dispenser. Burns forces him to take a vacation and search for a replacement, which he ultimately selects Homer. Homer works as hard as he can to impress his boss. Even Bart and Lisa exploit Homer by making him do Bart's long division and driving Lisa to the library. No matter what Homer does, Mr. Burns mocks Homer, and he becomes increasingly angry until he eventually punches Burns in the face. Homer then runs home believing he has killed Mr. Burns. Burns begins doing his own work to avoid Homer, and he starts to enjoy it. Smithers then returns to find Burns congratulating Homer on helping him to do his own work. Burns says to Homer that he can return to Sector 7G to find that Smithers has been fired. Smithers tries to find employment elsewhere but is unsuccessful. Desperate for work, Smithers turns to Moe's Tavern, where he is tasked with distracting Barney during the midnight beer delivery. While at the tavern, Homer comes up with a plan to help Smithers get his job back. The next day, Homer pretends to be Burns' mother on the phone. As a result, Burns witnesses the whole thing and scolds both Homer and Smithers. Homer and Smithers end up getting into a physical fight, with Burns attempting to break it up. In the chaos, Homer accidentally knocks over a bear statue, causing it to crash through the window and sending Burns falling to the street below. Burns becomes dependent on Smithers once again and asks if Homer got what he deserved. In a surprising twist, Smithers gives Homer a gift basket as a thank you for helping him get his job back. Burns' heir. Mr. Burns has a near-death experience in the bathtub and realizes that if he were to die, no one would be able to run his power plant. To find a suitable heir, he holds tryouts for local kids. When Bart auditions, Mr. Burns cruelly rejects him by using the machine to kick him in the rear. Seeking revenge, Bart wreaks havoc on Mr. Burns' property by smashing windows, destroying statues, and filling his car with water. Despite his mischievous behavior, Mr. Burns notices Bart's cunning and deviousness and decides to make him his heir. Homer eagerly agrees when Mr. Burns offers Bart the chance to inherit his fortune. Marge thinks Bart should spend some time with Mr. Burns. Bart enjoys the luxurious lifestyle and even gets Krusty the Clown to deliver pizza. When he returns home, Bart is unhappy with his family's lifestyle and returns to Burns. The Simpsons try to get Bart back, but the police and attorney Lionel Hutz are no help. Their attempt to hire a private investigator results in Hans Moleman being brainwashed into believing he's the Simpsons' son. Bart is then shown a video of his family supposedly not caring about him, which Bart then grows closer to Mr. Burns and is invited to fire employees of the power plant, but draws the line at firing his own father. When Bart tries to fire Mr. Burns instead, Burns disowns him as his heir. Eventually, Bart learns the truth about his fake family in the video and is reunited with his real family. Homer introduces Bart to his new brother Hans Moleman, but Marge wants him out of the house immediately. Finally, at number 1, we have 2001 Greyhounds. Santa's little helper becomes too energetic for the Simpsons, and their attempts to tire him out fail. Bart and Lisa play ball with him, but end up falling asleep. Later on, the family follows him to a dog track where they discover his love for a greyhound racer named She's the Fastest. They bring her home as the owner explains that once the dog falls in love, they lose their racing spirit. Santa's little helper and his girlfriend share romantic experiences together and have puppies, causing chaos in the Simpsons household. Homer and Marge initially try to find new homes for the puppies, but they are unable to be separated. Mr. Burns offers to take the puppies, but when the family questions his motives, Burns and Smithers steal them while the family aren't looking. Bart and Lisa find the puppies at Burns' mansion and witness him being surprisingly kind to them, giving them a bath and showing favoritism towards a puppy named Little Monty. Just when Bart and Lisa start to question their judgment about Burns, they witness him entering another room with a loaded gun, intending to kill the puppies to make a tuxedo out of them. Bart and Lisa then rescue the puppies from Burns' mansion by tossing them down the laundry chute. However, Burns catches them at the bottom and prepares to kill the puppies. Bart tricks Burns by making all the puppies stand up on their legs, making it impossible for Burns to identify Little Monty. Burns is overcome by the cuteness of the standing dogs and decides to not kill them. Instead, he buys them all and raises them as racing dogs. The Greyhounds become world champions and win millions of dollars for Burns. If you want to see 3 classic Principal Seymour Skinner episodes, then click this video right here.